Entertainment Mod Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Fallout Season 2, Episode 2, and my thoughts on this episode. Really disappointed. Look, it's not a terrible episode, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm starting to see some issues with the writing and the directing. It's mainly to do with the Brotherhood of Steel and how they're being portrayed in this show. Like, I get what you're trying to do here, writers. The Brotherhood is very bad. They're not nice people. They're full of morons. Okay, I get it, but that's. I get that. But I just don't get why you're making them look so goddamn stupid. Like, there's a scene with two fucking knights are messing around with grenades right in front of their fucking commanding officers, surrounded by other Brotherhood, people. And I don't get it. I don't get the point. If you're trying to do this as a joke, like, fine, but it makes the Brotherhood of Steel look completely ridiculous and stupid. Like, I get why the people in the vault are childish and, close to the R word. But why would the Brotherhood be that stupid? They have been out on the wasteland. They have been trained by the best people of the Brotherhood. But you get. I'm sorry, it just really pisses me off. Like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea to portray them as that stupid? I mean, I get it. They're the bad guys, and you don't want the bad guys to look good. But come on, there's a line. Like, how am I supposed to believe the Brotherhood is a threat if the people in the suits are mentally dumb? I mean, that's how bad it was. And it really annoys me because I like the character of Maximus. Okay, he's a good character, but I feel like in this episode he just wasn't really there. Like, you gave him some lines, we found out a bit about his backstory, but that was it. We don't know where he is right now in his head. Like, is he with the Brotherhood still, or is he trying to escape? Is he going to try to, sabotage it? Staying in it, sabotage what he can, or what? I don't know. And I get it. Some people are going to say, well, just keep watching and they're going to tell you. But listen, I just need some more than what I got from him from this episode. Like, all I can see in this episode is he's depressed. That's it. And that's pretty disappointing. Um, Lucy and the Gull, they were okay in this episode. And, I wanted to see more of them in this episode. I get it. You gave them an entire first episode, so you're going to concentrate this episode more on, Maximus. I get it. Doesn't mean you just completely throw them away. And that's what it kind of felt like. Like, yeah, Lucy was in the episode. The Gull was in the episode. But they were there for like 5 minutes. And that was it. And that's kind of disappointing. We had Norm also in this episode. Again, he had a lot more time than the Gull and Lucy. But, I'm just not really that interested in this story still. Like, I am trying to. And, it was a good. And he did have a good scene in this episode, of the escape scene. I thought that was a good scene. But other than that, I'm just not that invested in that plot of the episode, that part of the story. Like Norm, the Vault, I'm just not invested anymore. I just kind of, the Vault's there, there's shit going on. I'm just not really interested. I want to go and see what's out in the world. I want to know more about, this entire wasteland. Again, I've not played the games. I'm pretty clueless about most of this. I know the basics, just not everything. So I want to explore more. I know enough about the vaults. So yeah, it's just hard for me to get invested into it, which is annoying, I know, but it's just, for me, I want to find out more about the Wasteland. I want to find out more about the Brotherhood. I also want to find out what the fuck is going on with the New California people. Like, is that government completely gone? Is it all falling apart? I mean, last season, don't really remember what they said. Did they say it was gone? So I would have loved if we find out a bit more about that too. So yeah, I just want to stick to the Wasteland. I'm just not that bothered about what's happening in the vaults. Another part that I actually think is the best part of the episode is Hank's scenes. I am finding it interesting. I want to find out more about these, devices on the back of people's heads. It looks interesting, and yeah, it was also kind of fun seeing like how far Hank is willing to go. Like, he breaks protocol in one scene, and you can kind of see that he is starting to kind of push the limit, I think. So that is interesting to see, because he is a corporate guy. He's dedicated to the corporation that he works for. He really wants this promotion for some reason. So, but he's now breaking the rules. So how far is this guy going to go? Is he going to sacrifice his kids if he needs to? Who the fuck knows? But it is interesting to see. So, look, the episode's not perfect. It has too many problems for me to say it's a good episode, because it's not. I think the Brotherhood of Steel storyline, it is interesting. The problems with it is just the Brotherhood is written like fucking morons. And that's just not interesting. We don't get a character who just appears out of nowhere, and apparently he's an important character, but again, I don't know who he is, so I'm just not that invested in him. So, yeah. And other than that, it felt a bit slow as well. That's another problem. It did feel a bit slow. So what would I give this episode out of 10? It's not a terrible episode. There are interesting scenes. So I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's an okay episode. It's just the writing is the issue for me in this episode. That's it. Everything else is fine. And it's a bit slow. But yeah, 6 out of 10. Let's get to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with us catching up with Maximus and how he's doing after he had to let Lucy go, and finding out that the guy who killed his parents and destroyed his life ran off, and he doesn't seem to be that affected by it. Now, he's more depressed that Lucy left him than the fact he just found the guy who killed his family. We also get a flashback scene of Maximus's life before the explosion in Sandy Hook. Is it Sandy Hook? Shady Sands. I don't know. I don't know why that's in my head. Shady Sands. So you find out what happened. It turns out Hank had somehow managed to get a device on some trader and to control his mind. He told him to go to the center of Shady Sands and just bring a bomb there, basically, a nuclear bomb. You find out about Maximus's dad. He apparently was an inventor who was starting to see progress in, cleaning up water so that society could, get better. And then the courier who Hank had kidnapped and turned into a mindless zombie collapses and nobody knows what's going on. Maximus's dad heads over there, checks the body. The guy's still saying some weird shit, but then goes to the cart and then he finds the nuclear bomb. He tries to disarm it, but unfortunately he can't because Hank has an override on his Pip-Boy and he activates the countdown. So Maximus's dad rushes home and puts Maximus in that fridge that saves him from the nuclear explosion, but wipes out Maximus's family and everybody in the area. So yeah, that's pretty depressing. We then go to Maximus in the present, where he's in his suit of armour, rushing through some dark place and shooting a bunch of zombies and finding some device. I don't know what it's called, but apparently this device is helps them to find the location of Area 51. So yeah, we found the alien base basically. So a couple of people go down on the ground, activate some huge fans that, you know, blows away all the sand, revealing Area 51. When they get into Area 51, they start finding all this, you know, weird technology. You get this funny scene with a refrigerator where there's an alien in it, and when the guys open it, they go, "Wow!" And then they just throw that alien on the ground and say they're more, you know, surprised about the fridge than they are about the alien creature they just found. I found that scene was pretty good. I'll give the episode credit for that. So yeah, they've taken Area 51, and the reason they've taken Area 51 is this is supposed to be the new headquarters of a new Brotherhood of Steel, because Maximus is boss. I don't know what they call him in the Brotherhood. He is trying to build some new Brotherhood of Steel because he believes the Commonwealth's Brotherhood of Steel isn't good enough to lead them, so he's going to try to start some sort of civil war, but they need a headquarters for that, and they need to make allies of other Brotherhood of Steel groups. So he's invited them all to Area 51 to talk about how they're going to fight the Commonwealth. They also find a special equipment there which helps them build nuclear fusion cores. I think that's what they're called. But apparently these are really important things that the Wasteland needs, and now Maximus's Brotherhood can build as many as they want. So that pretty much makes them the most powerful group in the Wasteland now. Other than the fact they have airships and massive bodysuits of armor, so you know. Yeah. Anyway, we then go to Lucy and the Ghoul, who are still trying to get to Vegas, where Lucy starts to hear somebody begging for help. The Ghoul doesn't want to get involved because, you know, he's the Ghoul and he doesn't want to waste time. He was supposed to get to Las Vegas and find his family, but Lucy, being a nice person she is, says she's not going to let somebody just die if she can help them. So they go into the hospital. Kind of an eerie scene when you see what a nuclear bomb does. You see all the skeletons on the ground of the last thing people were doing. Kind of really eerie. So they get in the hospital. They find the two people who were begging for help. Lucy goes to help the woman, and the Ghoul goes over and stabs the other person and starts to eat him, which I kind of found funny. Lucy kind of disturbed by this, but before the Ghoul can swallow, he then realizes something's wrong with the guy, other than the fact he stabbed him. Turns out he is he's a snack for a bunch of scorpions. Don't know what they call them in the show. They're just big fucking scorpions to me. So a bunch of scorpions come. Lucy and the Ghoul fight, and then you get this big fucking scorpion that bashes through, and you get this really funny scene where the Ghoul grabs the other woman who they came to save and uses her as a fucking human shield, which was a pretty fucking funny scene, and I really wasn't expecting that. That was fucking weird. But the Ghoul managed to get a grenade, shoves it in the scorpion's mouth, and then blows it up. But he was also stabbed again by the scorpion, so he's pretty fucked up. Lucy only has one stem left. She decides to use it on the woman that the Ghoul literally got stabbed by the scorpion, and tells the Ghoul he will survive the attack and she'll be back later to rescue him. But she's going to take this girl back to her people and, you know, make sure she's safe. So I'm just going to get through Lucy's stuff pretty quick because, again, as I said in my non-spoiler part, the Ghoul and Lucy don't really do much in this episode. So Lucy takes the woman back to her people, but it turns out her people are under the control of Caesar's legions. and that's how her storyline ends, with her saying that she's nice, and that's it. She gets surrounded by a bunch of Centurions, and yeah, I think they take her prisoner. I might as well do Norm stuff as well, since he doesn't really do much in this episode either. So last week, Norm had opened up a bunch of pods and released a bunch of people. They think this is Requiem Day, and they're all thinking, "Yay, civilization's back together. We're all gonna be famous and everything." But Norm has to kind of tell them, "Yeah, that's not happening. You've been woken up early to help rescue the Vault and help Norm escape the Vault, and that's gonna prove that you are useful to Vault-Tec." At least that's what he tells them, and grabs a bunch of first aid plasters and makes them believe there's some sort of point system. I don't know what he called them, but apparently this gets all the people to work together, and they all work as a team to get out of Vault 31 and head up to the surface, where Norm has his first experience in the wasteland and says it's beautiful. And his part of the episode ends with him walking to the sea with the group of idiots, because these people do seem to be fucking stupid. I mean, I get it, they're all middle management people, not like heads of, states or corporations, even though those people can be stupid too. But anyway, so that's how his episode ends. He's leading a bunch of idiots through the wasteland. So don't know how long he's going to survive, but that'll be interesting for next week. So the rest of the episode, we just concentrate on Maximus. So Maximus is pretty depressed still about what happened last season, losing Lucy, finding out about, how his family got murdered. And he's not really doing well in the Brothers of Steel. Well, he is doing well in the Brothers of Steel. He's getting all that cheers, and everybody's patting him on the back for the fact he killed the head of New California. And, he's been promoted. He has his own suit now, or he's been given the other suit, been told he can keep it, and now he's like a knight with respect. But his friend, I don't know if it's a woman or a man. Is that bad? I think it's a woman, so I'm just gonna say his female friend kind of keeps nudging him and saying, "Well, what's your plan? Are you just going to stay in the Brotherhood, or are you going to leave the Brotherhood and find Lucy and have a happy life with her?" And Maximus doesn't know. He's just getting on with his work and just doing what he's been doing for most of his life. So he's not really focused on anything. He's just doing as he's told. But you can see he's depressed. He's not really comfortable with helping the Brotherhood of Steel anymore. But that's all he's ever done, so that's all he can do right now. And throughout the episode, you kind of see that the Brothers of Steel, they really do act like morons. Like, you have these two guys in the armor who are playing with grenades at one point, and Maximus got to come over to them and say, "Stop playing with fucking grenades." They then grab this new car, they take it out and just shoot it for some reason. Don't really know why. That seemed a bit stupid. You then get the meeting between a bunch of other Brothers of Steel clans and Maximus's boss, where they're discussing what their plans are to deal with the Commonwealth. Now, a lot of these leaders are bastards, basically. You got one guy who hates women, apparently, a woman who doesn't really give a shit about their oath, which is to protect technology, and a guy who doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just happy being the leader of a Brotherhood of Steel group. That's what it seems like. But the Maximus's boss tries to tell them the Brotherhood has lost its way, the Commonwealth is too weak, and he believes they should take over and defeat the Commonwealth and lead a new Brotherhood of Steel group. Now, at first, the group of leaders don't really give a shit. They don't really care. The Commonwealth seems to stay out of their business, so they don't see the point of going to war with somebody who's not going to war with them. Doesn't seem to want to bother them, but Maximus's boss kind of forces the issue and says it is their duty and their oath to protect technology, but he then realizes who he's talking to, and these people couldn't give a shit, so he bribes them basically with a bunch of nuclear cores and tells them he can build as many as they want, as many as any human could have ever built in the past. And this gets them all to agree to joining his group and fighting against the Commonwealth. You then get this scene with the two guys in the suit of armour start fighting each other, and then that ends and you get Maximus then gets challenged to a fight by this big dude who doesn't believe he actually, well, he believes that Maximus killed the head of the New California government or whatever it was. So, but he thinks he can challenge him. So Maximus agrees to have a fight. He thinks he's going to have a fight in the suits, but he doesn't want to have a fight in the suits. He wants to have a hand-to-hand fight. Maximus kind of gets pummeled at the beginning, but gets the upper hand with a knife and stabs the guy, kills the guy, and then some random person flies in with a helicopter and then asks to join this coalition of Brotherhood of Steel groups to go against the Commonwealth. I think that's what he did. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. No, yeah. It's not a great episode. As I've said before, I think the writing the Brotherhood of Steel as fucking morons is stupid. Again, I get why the Vault people are stupid. They are literally treated like children and don't really do much in the Vault. Whereas people who grew up in the Brotherhood of Steel, that would just not make sense. Like, I get, Maximus's first knight was a prick, but that's because he'd just been sent on so many stupid missions. The guy just didn't believe in the group anymore. Now you've got young knights acting like children, playing with grenades. I mean, there's literally a fucking scene where the two guys that Maximus told before to stop playing with grenades literally start playing with grenades surrounded by people that they could have killed. I think that's over the top stupid. And I expect more from Fallout because they had a good first season. So I don't know why they're writing these people so dumb. It annoys me because, again, how can you see these guys as threats if you think they're the dumbest people on Earth? Which is kind of what those two guys look like and sound like. But yeah, but again, as a whole, the episode is fine. It's just some writing problems I have. It's still a 6 out of 10. I've heard some people saying it's like terrible. I think that's a bit too far. It's still an okay series. I've not seen anything terrible. Just some bad writing, that's it. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to next week's episode. I'm still invested and I'm still enjoying, finding out more about the Fallout universe. And yeah, I hope we get some good episodes next week. I mean, a good episode next week. That's the end of my review. Merry Christmas to anybody who gets this far. And hopefully you have a happy new year. And hopefully 2026 will be great for everybody. So, yeah. Merry Christmas to everybody. That's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do feel like subscribing. If you have a comment, leave it below and I'll try to get back to it. Entertainment Soldier. Bye.